Hi, I'm Dustin Abbott, and I'm here today to give you my review of an accessory for doing video work and also for photography that I've actually really enjoyed the versatility of, and that is the Slypod E. So the Slypod E is a motorized slider, and so obviously it'll give you a lot of flexibility for different kinds of shots you can get for video, whether you're doing pans across, whether you are wanting to zoom into an object, whether you want the camera to just kind of rise up above an object and focus into the distance. There's just, basically you're only limited by your creativity in the different ways that you can utilize a slider. But the big difference, of course, is that you can get much more stable and predictable shots than trying to do something handheld. Now, one of the things I do want to point out is you're going to want to have a good amount of stability to attach this to. And so I would say that if you don't have a good tripod, that's probably an important place to start, because without a good set of support on this, you're obviously going to be putting a lot of weight out there. They've done a good job of finding a good balance point. I do believe that, but I have found that the more stable my tripod is, the better my results are going to be. So you can use this independently. The base that you attach to here is Arca Swiss, and so you can attach that right to a tripod. But it does come with the kind of telescoping feet here, where you can utilize this in a number of ways. So first of all, obviously, you can just stand it up like this, and so I've actually used it as a convenient, portable little tripod for actually some of my videos at times. I can just raise it up to the height that I want for, my particular shot, and then go away with that. It does have controls, as you can see. I've been reaching down here to control it right off of the base itself. A little bit less convenient in this kind of position because the controls are at the bottom, but you do have other control options, including an app, which is pretty simple to use. And I like to use the app for some shots because you're removing any kind of touching of it out of there, and so you get a little more stability in that regard. You can also utilize, they do sell as an accessory, a remote control for it, and so that is another option for an external kind of control. There's a variety of other accessories that you can get for it, including you can purchase from them a pan tilt head. They have this set up, which is kind of nice in a quick release fashion here, and so you can actually really quickly move from different options, including an option that is threaded that would allow you to attach a gimbal to it if you want to utilize it in that way. But then you have a locking mechanism that makes it easy to make sure that everything is going to stay stable there. Now, I've actually got my own ball head on the moment because I use ball heads all the time, and it's what I'm personally most comfortable with. Their pan tilt head obviously does the trick fine, and it's an aesthetic match to everything, and so it's also not particularly expensive, and so you can look at that as an option. But like I said, I'm more comfortable with my own ball head, and so I've just mounted that on there, and of course that's always an option for you as well. So our payload here is actually very robust. You can go up to 9 kilograms, around 40 pounds, and so that gives you a lot of versatility on obviously what you can put on there, and so you can utilize even heavy, cine setups for, for getting your shots, which is certainly convenient. The battery life is also good and robust. You have 2 hours, obviously the battery is built into the handle itself. You get about 2 hours of continuous use out of that. And so if you tend to use it more sporadically, as I have done over the last couple of months, so far I really haven't had to recharge the battery because it holds up for a long time, has great standby time. It charges via USB-C, and so you can either charge it from any of your typical accessories, but you can also, if you're in doing a lot of extended shooting, you can actually charge it via a power bank or anything like that. So it's pretty versatile in the way that you use that. Now these kind of telescoping feet here at the bottom, it is also interesting that you can mount this here, and the way that it's threaded, there's a couple of different size threads on this tripod mount section here, and so if I thread that on there, you can then also utilize this as a handheld, obviously, with a nice ability to kind of stabilize it here. The balance is actually quite good, and so that gives you the option to use it in this kind of fashion as well, for different kinds of shots, and maybe even as a stabilizer for using your camera as well. And then of course you can still utilize the the various shots here, although I will point out that in this kind of configuration with the controls here at the back, it would be easier to do this if you had actually an independent, you actually had the remote control for it, or maybe even the app, because trying to access those is going to be near impossible. So if there's any other negative to point to as a part of this, it is the fact that the motor is fairly loud, particularly if you put it on the highest speed. So as you can hear by my mic, it's definitely going to be loud enough to be picked up on your shots. And so if you're wanting to do kind of quieter shots through the app, you can access a quiet mode, but basically what it is it's just going to detune everything so it moves a lot slower and produces less sound. So it's going to be limiting in the kind of style of shots that you can get with that. Now, in many cases, you may not be worried about the audio in that particular shot or recording your audio separately, so obviously that's fine. But if you're recording on camera, you will hear that motor at work as you're sliding along, so it's certainly not silent in operation. Our price point here is $299 US, around 300 bucks. And certainly for that, everything is really nicely made here. All metals in the construction, a really nice gripped texture here. Everything seems to be well made, and so no concerns over that. It also comes with a carrying case as noted, and so it is, it folds down into a nice compact package for transport, making it easy to bring along, easy to use for your various shots. I've actually found it really useful, and I like the creative option. I've actually used it a fair bit for my macro photography as well, or macro video shots, because it's nice to be able to set up the tripod kind of at the angle that you want, the right height, and then to use the zooming ability of the actual Slypod to bring the camera into the appropriate spot that you want, and so that you can get a nice angle for your shot and a lot of versatility on where you set your focus. So versatile for that. I mean, obviously you can utilize this to shoot going upward, as we've seen. You can position everything to where it is facing down, and so if you're zooming down towards a shot, just a lot of versatility on the variety of shots that you can get. And so certainly if you're someone that does some video work, it's a very flexible tool to add on to, as noted, to a good stable tripod base to just give you a lot of extra flexibility in the types of shots that you can get. I'm Dustin Abbott. If you'll look in the description down below, you can certainly find some buying links there if you'd like to purchase one for yourself. Beyond that, there's linkage to follow me on social media, to become a patron, to sign up for my newsletter. It comes out every Thursday. Purchase my merchandise. Of course, if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button right here on YouTube and click that notification bell to be sure to be notified when new content drops. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Let the light in.